Welcome to Wind Down Wednesday with your girl TTFromTheD. I am super excited that you have decided to join me on this evening. Now, somewhere in the world, it is Wind Down Wednesday. In another part of the world, it could be Hump Day Wednesday. But here, each and every Wednesday at TTFromTheD, it's an Unwind Wednesday where we come together, we laugh, we get educated, we share wisdom, knowledge, we encourage one another, share some interesting information. Like, for instance, did you know that May was and is considered the National Wine Month? I didn't know that. And upon doing my research, I know that it's National Mental Health Month, but I thought like, wow. Now, I love a good glass of wine. And I've did my research, and I'll be talking to you guys throughout the rest of the month about the different wines and things of that nature. We'll be sprinkling in some information about Mental Health Month as well. But can you just imagine after a long day at work, hump day, like for today was crazy today. At the end of the day, our computer system decided it didn't want to work for us. We're like, really? So it's like, I couldn't wait to get home. And I'm like, what am I going to make for dinner? Right? That was my thought. I don't know about you, but that was my thought. And then I thought, you know what would be nice? A great, cool glass of Moscato with some type of pasta. That's what I was going for. First I said, I would make some spaghetti. Then I thought like, nah. And then I thought maybe I'll make some fettuccine Alfredo with shrimp. Then I was like, no. Then I thought, you know what would be great with some Moscato? A crab boil. So I was like, the kids and the family, the hubby, they love the crab boils. So I was like, okay, let me do that. Then I started running errands for my mother, doing things for my mom, and I just got home not too long ago. And I'm like, I got to get my show going. I got to get that glass of wine, one thing at a time. But I do know that I'm going to top this evening off with a crab boil and a wonderful glass of Moscato. Now, today is not officially the National Moscato Day. It actually fell on Monday, May 9th. Okay? So, put it on your calendar that May 9th is U.S. National Moscato Day. And it's your chance to raise the glass and celebrate the history of this tasty wine. Now you might say, what? Yes. Now it fell on Monday of this year. I did a little research just to give you a little few days out because you might say, I want to be ready for next year. I'm glad you think that. Or you might be wondering when that day will fall. Although it will always be May 9th, it won't always be a Monday. Okay, so next year in 2023, National Moscato Day will fall on a Tuesday. And then in 2024, it'll fall on a Thursday. We got to wait to 2025 for it to fall on a Friday so we can have a wonderful, wonderful time. Now let's get into this. What type of wine is Moscato? Moscato is one of my favorite wines, okay? And I had shared a funny story last week when I was doing Sauvignon Blanc Day. And I told this story about when I went into a true Italian restaurant and the guy got me all the way together by letting me know what it was and what it wasn't when I asked for a glass of Moscato. Now, Moscato is a sweet, fizzy white type of wine. Or it could be like a rosé wine. It depends. With a low alcohol content that pairs exquisitely with dessert. It goes really good with the good slice of key lime pie, which is one of my favorites. It goes really, really good with a wonderful slice of cheesecake, right? It wouldn't go well with the chocolate cake, but who am I to tell you how to eat your dessert and treats, right? Now, Moscatos are made from the Muscat grape, and we talked about that last week in episode 13 when we talked about Sauvignon Blanc Day. It's a table grape that they use for raisins. Now, I thought that was weird because I was like, I like raisins, but you're not going to see me in a market like, I got to get a thing of raisins. But if there's some raisins, I like to eat them. They're really good. And it's like a flavor. It's sweet, peachy, orangey, blossomy, nectarine type of flavor, if you will. Okay? So I said, okay, what category would a Moscato fall in? Okay? It falls in a sweet Italian wine because it has the little hints of fruity notes. I enjoy going to different wine tastings. And if you check out Michigan by the Bottle Tasting Room here in Michigan, it's amazing. Shout out to Courtney. She's one of the owners. We had the opportunity to interview her last year, and we had a wine tasting in the midst of doing the one-on-one with her, and we got educated. We learned how to pair different things and, what type of glass you should be drinking white wines out of versus a red wine. And so now I will say this. The Moscato that most people know and love is Moscato d'Asti. If you ask the person, do you like Moscato? People will say, I've found this to be true. Oh, yeah, I like Moscato d'Asti because it has a bubbly. It makes a really good mimosa. And if you know me, I love a great mimosa. Now, the popular off-dry or sweet wine comes from Italy, okay? Now, it's evenly balanced, but it's very sweet. Like I said earlier, it's not high in alcohol at all. And if you drink too much of it, you might catch a little headache. Could be, okay? Now, some people might say it's known to be a sparkling wine. I tend to differ on that. I don't totally agree with that. But it could be sweet or semi-sweet, and it can go really well. I'm one of them people like to mix things. I would put a Moscato d'Asti with some Prosecco and a mandarin orange or a peach Bellini type of, I'm that girl, right? And you might be like, what is that? I know. It's just how I like it. Now, you could jump and say, do you like your Moscato chilled or do you like a room temperature? I pretty much like it chilled, okay? And there's a question. Most people say, how long can a wine last? Now, I say this. I normally will drink a bottle of wine in 1 to 2 days. If I'm having a girls' night, some company, and I want a nice little glass of Moscato. If I'm having a nice fish dinner, like some perch or orange roughy, or if I'm doing salmon, I like a glass of Moscato. Now, you still can enjoy a bottle of wine after the 4th day, but I wouldn't recommend it. It's already not high in alcohol, so I really wouldn't recommend trying to, go days and days trying to preserve it. And plus, Moscato is not that expensive at all. I'm going to give you a couple of brands of Moscato that you may be familiar with, may not be. And I'll tell you, this is one of my favorites, if it is. If it's not, I'll keep it moving. So let's start out with, Castello Poggio. It's a white Moscato, of course. You can find that at Myers. You can find it at Kroger's, some of your local wine ports and things like that. It's one of my favorites. I got introduced to it a couple of years ago by my sister's boyfriend's mom. We went over for, I believe it was a birthday dinner, and she asked me if I ever had it, and I'm like, no. I saw the bottle. I'm like, I've always seen that in the stores. I never paid it any attention. But my God, when I tasted it, I was like, I became a fiend for it. I was buying it. So much so, when my oldest son graduated in 2020, we were at Myers, and they had the little mini bottles for $1. And I bought about 50 of those and put them in a big old cooler when we had an open house drive-by. And some people stayed behind, and we had some food, some finger food and things like that. And that was a nice little taste for people to sample it, and they enjoyed it. The next brand I would recommend is the Seven Daughters. I have not personally tried that, but people say it's really, really good, okay? There's one I haven't tried, but I've been seeing it in the market lately, Brico Riella. It's a d'Asti champagne. I think that probably would make a great Moscato. I don't know, but that's my thoughts. Madria Moscato. Madria is known for the sangrias and things of that. It's a known brand. I, again, have not had that, but people have mentioned it. Menage a trois, I should say, Menage a Trois, sweet Moscato. They have a lot of different flavors. They have a Merlot, or Chardonnay, Pinot Grigio. Actually, I looked at that today, and I was going to grab some. They had little small mini bottles, 4 for $5. I never could understand why they do those type of specials, but who am I to complain when you have a sale, right? Now, there's one I do want to try called Astoria Sparkling Moscato. I want to see what kind of mimosa that makes. I'm a mimosa head. I love mimosas, okay? I love them. One of my favorites is Stella Rosa Moscato d'Asti. Yes, I am a Stella Rosa girl. I love Stella Rosa. Shout out to Stella Rosa. They keep me going. They have all flavors. There are a few I don't really care for, but there's some I absolutely love and buy in abundance. Stella Rosa, the Moscato d'Asti is one of those. Now, there's one I am not familiar with, although I love E40. Earl Stevens has a Moscato. Now, I know about his peach Bellini. It's like I believe it's a peach. It might be a peach Moscato. I'm not sure. It is so good. It makes an amazing mimosa. Again, I'm going back to that. I got introduced to Rosada Moscato d'Asti by my sister Melanie. Amazing. They have a good red wine with that. Amazing. But that Moscato d'Asti makes amazing mimosas. Again, there I go with you're like, oh my God, you're a mimosa head. Yes, I am, darling. So listen, also Gallo family, they have a nice pink Moscato. I'm not a fan of that one, but it is nice. Cupcake, pretty good. Moscato d'Asti as well. Champagne makes a great, what you gonna say? Mimosa, right? And then you have the Stella Rosa Imperial. I haven't tried that, but people say it makes a good mimosa. And there we go again. Then Barefoot. Now, Barefoot has a lot of amazing flavors. Moscato is one of them, and I like Barefoot. Barefoot's pretty good. Going back to Rosada, they have a pink Moscato Rosé Champagne as well. Really good. They also have the Moscato Champagne and Sparkling. I don't know if that's a good mimosa maker. I'm assuming it is. Then you can't go wrong with Rufino. Rufino is amazing. And then, of course, your standard, everybody knows pretty much, Behringer. It's a household name. You can't go wrong with Behringer. I love the, I don't really know how to say it. It's in a beautiful blue bottle. It looks like, it reminds me of Tiffany. The jewelry Tiffany, the store, but it's Gema di Luna, I believe. That's G as in girl, EMMADILUNA. So I don't really know the pronunciation for it, but it's a cute little bottle, and I think that it's pretty good. So that's just a couple of those that I wanted to run off to you, just in case you're like, I'm not a real Moscato person, but I am not prone to not try that. But I don't know, what would you recommend? I wanted to give you something that I could say, hey, let me recommend this for you. What's your thoughts on it? And so I would love to know any of your favorites when it comes to like a Moscato, because I am a Moscato girl, right? I said that. I love Moscatos. And it's a really good fruity, like I said, if you don't want something to get you tipsy really fast, a Moscato, it'll do the job. I also am a fan of Middle Sister. Middle Sister came on the scene a little while back, and it's amazing. I think it's good. There's also one I discovered at a nice wine port near my home, and it's called Salt of the Earth. When I tell you, it's a bottle that I pass and wouldn't even think about. Amazing. And I didn't try to make a Moscato. I didn't try to make a mimosa, I should say. But it is great without making a mimosa. It's amazing. Now, I will share these little tidbits with you. What would be a good pairing with Moscato? I would say with meat, I would recommend, for those that eat pork tenderloin, okay? Or barbecue pork. Chicken, of course, it goes great with chicken. Grilled chicken, roasted chicken, broasted chicken. I don't know about fried chicken. You know, I'm thinking more of a Heineken fried chicken. I don't know. That's just me. They say it goes good with turkey. I don't know, but they say it does. Duck. I don't care for duck. It's too gamey for me, but it does go amazing with shrimp. Of course, with crab, I'm getting ready to have crab oil tonight with some Moscato. And of course, it goes well with lobster, cod, halibut, of course, salmon. Cheese pairings, I don't know. Let me see. What would I think that a good cheese pairing would be? Something that's firm. Okay, like a white cheese, maybe a Munster. I think a sharp cheese would be pretty good, but I prefer a sharp cheese with a red wine. That's just me. Now, for fruits and vegetables, a Moscato would go great with mango, pineapples. I'm allergic to pineapples, but I can drink the juice. So a pineapple juice with a Moscato blend is amazing. Mix a what? Wonderful mimosa. It also goes good with oranges, carrots, celery, onions, green peppers. What else could you pair it with? That's pretty much my go-to. I think it goes well with asparagus. I'm an asparagus type of girl. I love a good asparagus, especially from Capitol Grill. I love their asparagus. It's really, really good. I've learned how to use the baking bag for asparagus. So if you saute it just right and put it in that baking bag just to make it a little bit crispy, it turns out amazing. And I know you're like, TT, really? Yes, really. I really do enjoy, sharing different tips and things like that. But it's a good wine. It's a really good wine. And in like I said, it's wine month. Like, why not enjoy it? If you belong to a wine club, you can explore different wine events. If you visit different wineries, even right now, what became really, really popular is people hosting virtual tastings. Now, I'm not a fan of virtual. I'm a hands-on type of girl, but some people enjoy it. Okay, and you can find a good deal on a good wine. You can join a lot of these clubs and get like 6 bottles off for a certain price. You could be first to get samples of a new brand that's coming out. Because if you know, like I know, there are a million wineries. It didn't used to be like that back in the day, but there's so many vineyards being birthed. Like Tia and Tamara Mauro, sister twins. They one of them is married to a gentleman who family owns a winery, a vineyard, and I think that's super dope. I've always wanted to go to California and go to a wonderful vineyard there. That's on my bucket list. Anybody got any ideas or tips on great wineries, or you want to invite me to a wine tasting? If you're hosting one, if you are a wine connoisseur, if you are a person who is into holding events and you would like to invite us out or come on the show and talk about that, I'm open to that. I love to sample new brands, like I said, and there's several. I just rattled off several different companies and brands. Some you're familiar with, some you're not, but make no mistake about it, there are some amazing Moscatos. And so again, Moscato National U.S. Day was Monday, May 9th, and it's going to always be May 9th. Now, it's not going to always be a Monday. Like some wines I rattled off on episode 13 doing Sauvignon Blanc Day. There's a certain type of wines that have a certain day of the year. Like you might say, let's say hypothetically, Cabernet is every 3rd Friday of June. I'm hypothetically. Don't quote me. That's not true. But there were a few that had their national days, and it falls like that 1st or the 2nd. I thought that was quite interesting. So that's been my fun facts and my little tidbit on National Moscato Day. I hope that you have enjoyed the show. I hope that you will sample some Moscato if you're not a Moscato type of person, man or woman, because men love wine as well as women. There's nothing like a great wine. I'm starting to get into German wines now. I love going to Cooper Hawk and sampling. And I'm always just one of those girls that say, hey, I'll go to a beer fest. I'll go to a whiskey tasting fest. I'm into that type of thing. Wine and cigars, whiskey and cigars or whatever. I'm into that. I'm not a smoker. I'm a fake smoker. So I like to go and sample different cigars. Maybe I'll do an interview with someone from Churchill, which is a well-known cigar bar here in the Birmingham area. There's quite a bit of cigar bars in Michigan, but Birmingham's Churchill is my favorite. And then there's also another one in Rochester Hills that's pretty dope too. So With that being said, I hope that you enjoy the rest of your Wind Down Wednesday, whatever you choose to do. Let me give you this fun fact. If you are in the Ferndale, Michigan area, note to you, and you like wine, they have half off glasses, half off bottles of wine every Wednesday for Wind Down Wednesday. I think that's super dope, super amazing. So remember, Anita's Kitchen, it's a Middle Eastern Mediterranean type of, food. Food is dope, but their wine glasses and bottles are half off. You can't beat that. So it's been my pleasure to be your girl for tonight with the hosting of Wind Down Wednesday featuring Moscato Day. I hope that you'll tune in each and every Wednesday. My announcement is we will be moving to 8 o'clock starting the first week of June. So our new hours will be 8 o'clock p.m. Starting the first week of June. Not only for Wind Down Wednesday, but also for Tap In Tuesday in light of the summer months, so you can enjoy the rest of your evening and do whatever it is you need to do and just chill and have a great time while you enjoy TT from the D. I'll see you soon.